I think it's become really in vogue in the past, 10, 15 years, like this Facebook, Twitter, now TikTok era. You do something crazy or sensational or dramatic, and it's like it's super hot. And I think you're seeing this, sensational pull to the polar opposites, and that's been what works. I actually don't think that works long term. I think that's really tiring. I think some of these outlets that have commentators that are really reactive and super hot, people go, oh, actually, I do agree with that person, and they'll listen to them and they go, actually, I'm just not that riled up about this. And the engagement fades, and I think their business is going to have a problem over the long period of time. But I do think over time, what you see is actually people leaning into the bias. Bias is not technically the problem. It's when you say that you're not biased and you are biased. So I think what you'll see is more options that are a little bit more boutique in the way that they operate and what their bias is. You see more people saying, this is my subject area. I'm an economist, or I'm into climate, or I'm into immigration or whatever. You'll see more narrow offerings for people out there that aren't so just like sort of throwing up a big banner and saying we're this or we're that on the polar sides.
Yeah, I totally agree too that it's a decade ago, I think there was almost a level of like, not even ignorance, just like you had a pride in like sharing anything that supported your viewpoint, right? And we've slowly gotten to a point of everyone kind of this more general public awareness of like, oh, I think we're all kind of being pulled directions. And so it is sort of a little bit, I think we're catching up right now to this idea of like, what do people want and how, like, and I think they actually want something that's better for them. The other, and this is really, I don't know the exact dates on all this, but I had read something relatively recently about how like when the printing press came out, there was just this mass confusion and like kind of a similar moment where all of a sudden we can get news to people way faster and way quicker and all over the place. And there was a period just like we're kind of having now with sort of the rise of social media of trying to figure out how that worked and what's the best way to approach it. I think we're in the middle of that right now, and hopefully it settles into something that's a little bit less chaotic.
Yeah, if you think about like where we stand in history with communication and media, we're just at the beginning of the internet. So like the dust is just settling, and I think it's a good reminder to say like, okay, that was the start of social media has been kind of crazy, but like what if the dust is just now settling and we're just getting started? That's where I have a more optimistic perspective about the future.